So yesterday, the CW dropped a trailer for their upcoming Superman and Lois show that's premiering in February with a 2-hour special. That's right, it's going to be feature film length to start the entire shebang off. What a way to start things. Yesterday, that trailer dropped, and I didn't have any time to make a video about it to do commentary or reaction on account of the fact that I was working on my review of DC Future State Superman Worlds of War. So now I've got the time to do it. I don't have any figures that I need to be reviewing at the moment, so let's take a moment to dive in to this trailer. So moving forward, I do want to let you know that I've already watched this trailer twice. It won't be a react to me, and I do want to share just a few things before we watch this trailer. Number one, if the tone of the rest of the show matches this trailer, we are in for a completely different CW DC property here, because tonality is 100% different, and then the color palette is also more refined. The show, I just called it a movie. The show looks a lot more like a movie. It looks like a film with its color grading and its cinematic presence. And I really do kind of hope that they go with a more cinematic universe, a la the Titans universe. That was a very cinematic universe. It had a very different visual style, not just color palette, but just the way that the scenes were blocked and the way that they were framed was completely different than how the CW would handle their shots. It was definitely a more cinematic universe, and really you could watch Titans back to back, episode 1 from season 1 all the way to the end of season 2, and it really does play off like it's just one great big long movie, and I like that. I'm not saying that shows that already exist in the CW verse will change to this tone, but it really does seem that there is something a little bit different going on here, tonally and visually. So without further ado, let's watch this trailer together and pick it apart and have a thought about it and make some observations.
When we were dreaming about having a family, it didn't look like this, did it? Lost jobs, teens with severe anxiety, parents gone too soon.
So right off the bat, we can see that life is vastly different for Lois and Clark. I mean, for one, in the CW verse, they didn't have kids like originally, right? They were married, but they didn't have kids. And it's because of the events of the crisis that, we see that there are now children involved in their life. But the children, both of them, have severe anxiety, that's a big deal. It seems like they're trying to deal with some of the current topics of mental health with this show, which is admirable. I think it's weird that both have anxiety. I think it would have made more sense to have an outgoing son and then to have another son that has anxiety. That way they could play off of each other and we could have two different sorts of characters there. Although it does seem, as you watch the trailer, there is going to be one son who probably is a little bit more outgoing than the other. Also, they've lost their jobs at the Daily Planet, and that's why they're here in Smallville. It seems like they've been driven back to Smallville as a place to try to rebuild. I don't know why they're not working at the Daily Planet. It does look like their firing was abrupt, but I'm not really sure. Maybe they weren't fired. I have no idea. It says jobs lost, so I can only assume that they've either stepped down for some reason or they've been asked to leave. And then finally, the fact that Mom and Pa Kent are dead is really sad. I would have really liked to see that generational dynamic in this show with the kids, Lois and Clark, and then Jonathan and Martha, all generational. I think that would have been really, really fantastic. They could have really added a really cool family dynamic to the show, and I'm not sure why they've gone in that direction either. I'm guessing that their passing has somehow contributed to the anxiety of the kids. Just a thought, I'm not sure.
Why'd you move the family here? Still looking for the simple life? Because those days are gone, Clark. Long gone.
Clark's looking kind of scruffy, isn't he? He's looking like he's a little bit disheveled, like there's, something's going on here. Here we have kryptonite, and seeing this kryptonite actually made me think, are we going to get Metallo? Is that Metallo that we just looked at there? Or is it maybe Conduit? I'm not exactly sure who it is. I didn't look at the cast list. Maybe that would give it away.
You got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Really wish I could get drunk sometimes.
Great shot of Superman flying like that.
You're saying you're Superman?
Right. Did you catch that? That being just flew into him in space. That is the first being that we saw before. I'm assuming they're probably one and the same, because there's only going to be one big villain. At least they're only showing one big villain for the 2-hour special. If it is a 2-hour special, which they're saying they've actually got room for more than just one. But at the very least, it seems like they're playing a lot of their cards close to the chest, and they're only showing the one villain. But nonetheless, I think that is the same villain, because he appears later on in the trailer as well. Great shot of Superman right there.
Superman before. We've seen him.
So right there, it's apparent that the kids have no idea that their dad is Superman. I don't know how. I mean, they see him up close and personal every day. It's not like, you know, glasses on. That's my dad. Glasses off. Who is that? Who is that guy? Now, we know in the comic books the glasses are supposed to magnify his eyes a little bit and make him look different. But it's not just the glasses. In the comics, they've also said that the glasses amplify his low-level hypnosis. Some people believe that's canon. Some people don't really take that as canon. But it's also his mannerisms, the fact that he did have some acting courses in high school, that he learned how to completely change his mannerisms and the tone of his voice, and how he even holds his body, going from straight up to a slouch. Still, none of that holds water to the fact that your kids would know exactly who you are. It's not like if I put on a super suit and then put on a pair of glasses, my kids aren't going to know who I am.
Am I a bad father?
We're gonna be all right.
See, there's that self-doubt again. Am I a bad father? You can see that Superman's... I mean, the fact that he's a little bit disheveled. He's a very clean-shaven man. He never passes down a good time for hygiene.
No one ever dreams about the problems, but every life has them. Even
Superman with the freeze breath. Yes. Always good to see more freeze breath in the show.
extraordinary ones.
There's that smile.
Superman and Lois, 2-hour premiere event, Tuesday, February 23rd. Stream free next day, only on the CW app.
Be there or be square. Sorry, I know I cut in a lot, but those are just kind of my initial thoughts. I know there's plenty of other stuff that I'm probably missing and that a lot of other people are going to glean. The bottom line is this trailer really does make the show seem like it's going to have a very solid gold line running the entire way through it. They're really trying to set the stage with this 2-hour special. That's a 2-hour special really is going all in. 2 hours is a long time as far as a television show. You're literally filming a feature-length Superman film to start off the CW show based on that character. So I'm really excited. I'm really optimistic. I'm really hopeful. They've updated the suit. They've got a lot more depth to Tyler's Superman character than he ever had in the CW show. And I'm not saying he was bad. Tyler was a great Superman just when he was guest appearing on other shows. But him having his own show, I've seen Tyler's work in other movies, and he really is a great actor. He really has some fantastic acting chops. And hopefully the arc of the series, we see the Super Sons here actually come into their powers a little bit and begin to use them, a la Smallville, right? Because they're at that age where their powers should start developing. Heck, maybe they're having that conversation where he's trying to tell them that he's Superman, and they're like, no, we know Superman, we've seen him. Maybe it's because their powers are starting to manifest. That could be a thing as well. Actually, I would place a couple bucks on that bet that likely during this 2-hour special, we will see one or both of the kids' powers begin to develop and manifest, and they're going to be confused, like, why do I have this power? And that's when daddy's got to go, well, Superman's your dad and I'm Superman, so that's why you got powers, which would explain why we have that scene where they're like, you're not Superman, we've seen him. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the trailer. I'm really excited about the show. Hopefully you are too. And you know what? I don't usually do an ongoing series for a TV show. I've tried it and never works out, but I absolutely, definitely will be doing a series based on Superman and Lois. You can count on it. Dollars to donuts. I will be there every single episode doing some commentary. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable and a reasonable waste of time for your day, and I will see you with the next one. Bye for now.